Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today. We are tackling one of the most critical challenges facing e-commerce brands right now: how to actually maintain and even grow your profitability despite the constantly rising tide of Amazon platform fees heading into 2026. If you're looking to just cut through the noise and get straight to the operational realities of selling on Amazon today, you are in exactly the right place. Let's uncover the specific strategies that separate the highly profitable sellers from the ones who are, well, just barely scraping by. Let's kick things off with a number that really sets the stage: $716.9 billion. That is Amazon's projected net sales for 2025. It's a genuinely staggering figure that proves right out of the gate just how massive this ecosystem has become. I mean, you aren't just selling on a website anymore. You're operating within a global economic engine. But as this revenue pie has grown, the cost to take a slice of it has fundamentally changed. Okay, let's dive right into our roadmap for today. We're going to be covering 1. The digital landlord era, 2. The rising cost of visibility, 3. Navigating the fee maze, 4. The AI advertising advantage, 5. Omni-channel expansion strategies, and 6. The 2026 profitability playbook. All right, Section 1, the digital landlord era and understanding the economic model. So getting a grip on this underlying economic model is absolutely crucial. Why? Because as of late 2025, 61 to 62% of all paid units sold on Amazon actually came from third-party sellers just like you. Amazon relies super heavily on third-party sellers, and that creates a very unique dynamic. To really grasp it, it helps to look at how academics are framing it right now. This quote from researcher Simon Rosegard, neutrally but powerfully, describes Amazon as a digital landlord, while the sellers essentially act as tenants. You're the one providing the inventory and driving the commerce, while paying for the right to occupy that digital space. Understanding the structural reality is step 1 to mastering your margins. And this whole dynamic brings us to the concept of economic rent. Basically, you're paying predictable fees, commissions, and increasingly mandatory advertising spend simply for access to that massive $716.9 billion infrastructure. As these rent costs keep rising, the necessity for extreme pinpoint precision in your business operations skyrockets. Operating with blind spots? Yeah, that's simply no longer an option. Moving on to Section 2. The rising cost of visibility and the squeeze on your margins. Look, the days of just throwing up a great product and riding that wave of pure organic visibility, they're fading fast. Today, over 70% of Amazon sellers rely on paid advertising just to be seen at all. Paid visibility has completely transitioned from being this optional marketing lever to mandatory infrastructure. Just look at the sheer trajectory of the average cost per click. We went from 97 cents in 2024 to $1.12 in 2025. That is a massive 15.5% jump in a single year. And projections for 2026, they push it up to $1.18. This structural inflation means you have to be vastly more efficient with your ad spend just to maintain the exact same profit margins you had a couple of years ago. And where does all that CPC inflation go? Well, it adds up to $68 billion. That's Amazon's advertising revenue for 2025. It's an incredibly brilliant, high-margin growth engine for Amazon, for sure, but for the individual third-party seller, it creates a razor-thin margin environment. Every single click that doesn't convert is actively eating away at your top-line revenue. Let's get into Section 3, navigating the fee maze through operational precision. So, how exactly do we fight back and build that operational precision? Honestly, the reality of the 2026 fee structure is kind of brutal. You've got your standard referral fees of 8 to 15%. But now there are inbound placement fees that range from 21 cents to a staggering $6 per unit, all depending on how you ship. Then there's the low inventory fee, which basically punishes you for having less than 28 days of supply. But if you overcompensate, the aged inventory surcharge now kicks in at just 181 days. This fee structure surgically punishes you for both understocking and overstocking. And this dynamic perfectly illustrates why older selling methods are completely obsolete now. The old way was all about just-in-case stockpiling and tracking your margins on manual spreadsheets. But the 2026 way? That demands maintaining a really tight 30 to 60 day supply, utilizing automated ERP integrations and tracking profitability all the way down to the individual SKU level. Trying to manage Amazon's strict inventory performance index, or IPI, using spreadsheets today is literally the equivalent of flying a commercial jet entirely blind. You just wouldn't do it. Okay, so here are the actionable steps to beat this maze.
Step 1. You need to rigorously monitor those 28-day supply limits to dodge those low inventory fees. Step 2. Ruthlessly clear out any slow-moving stock before that 181-day mark to bypass the aging surcharges. And Step 3. Use an integrated ERP system to intelligently distribute your shipments and minimize those inbound placement fees. Basically, an integrated financial and inventory system automatically handles this nearly impossible balancing act for you.
Which brings us to Section 4, the AI advertising advantage and full funnel growth. To tackle a $1.12 cost per click, a human doing manual bidding is, well, functionally obsolete. To keep a healthy advertising cost of sales, we are seeing a massive shift toward advanced, full-funnel AI tools. Smart sellers are using AI bidding automation to adjust bids in real time based on the exact likelihood of a conversion, and that's yielding 25 to 40% better return on ad spend. They're also utilizing Amazon DSP to reach audiences completely off Amazon, putting products in front of viewers on places like Prime Video, Netflix, and Twitch. You've got to capture that demand before they even type a search query into Amazon. Oh, and speaking of video, you have to check out this surprising metric. Video ads generate 2.6 times higher click-through rates and 13% better conversion rates than static images. If you're wondering where your creative budget should be heavily weighted right now to stand out and actually justify those rising click costs, it's right here. Video is absolutely how you convert expensive traffic. Let's pivot to Section 5, Omnichannel Expansion Strategies, or as I like to call it, the escape valve. The absolute ultimate defense against platform reliance and all these rising Amazon fees is to diversify your revenue streams into other fast-growing marketplaces. And why is this so urgent? Well, the 2026 Amazon third-party revenue share is really shifting. Chinese sellers now account for 48.9% of revenue, overtaking U.S. sellers at 39%. This intensely global competition, often with structural cost advantages built in, is relentlessly driving margins down on Amazon. So, omnichannel expansion, it's becoming a vital survival mechanism, not just a nice-to-have luxury. But here is the genuinely beautiful part. You can actually use Amazon's massive physical infrastructure to fuel this escape. Amazon Multi-Channel Fulfillment, or MCF, lets you use your FBA inventory to ship orders that are placed on off-Amazon channels, like a Shopify site or Walmart. This brilliantly illustrates how you can keep your shipping costs incredibly low, sometimes as low as $3.64 for multi-item orders, while simultaneously building your own brand independence completely off the platform. And the data supporting this shift is super compelling. Omnichannel shoppers deliver a 30% higher customer lifetime value. Walmart Marketplace is just exploding, adding over 200,000 sellers in 2025 alone. Plus, TikTok Shop is generating massive volume with referral fees of just 5 to 6%, completely undercutting Amazon's rates. By connecting a central inventory system to these fast-growing platforms, the upside for your business is simply massive. All right, final stretch, Section 6, the 2026 Profitability Playbook. Let's bring this all together. So here is your ultimate operational blueprint. To survive the FEMAs, your inventory management requires an ERP with multi-channel sync. That eliminates stockouts and excess fees. Your financials require automated reconciliation to reveal your true SKU-level margins rather than relying on potentially flawed platform dashboards. And marketing, that requires AI bidding to defend against that brutal 15.5% CPC inflation. Software integration is absolutely the dividing line between profitable growth and total operational chaos today. I want to wrap up the core of this explainer with a quote from the source material, specifically from Sweet Engine, that just completely hits the nail on the head. Your product catalog gets you in the door. Your systems determine whether you stay profitable as you scale. Having a great product, that's just the prerequisite now. Mastering the system is the actual business. Which leaves me with one final, kind of provocative question for you to chew on today. Is your ERP calculating your true SKU-level profitability, or are you flying blind? It might be the perfect time to take a really hard look at your operations. If you're still relying on spreadsheets, perhaps it's time to upgrade those systems before the platform upgrades your fees again. Thank you so much for joining me as we unpacked all this source material. I can't wait to discover more insights with you next time.